Hello, welcome to Wales. I'm just walking down to my riverbank where I'm going to be telling you a short story, part of an extract from one of my books. But I thought while I was walking down that I'd talk a little bit about this time of year and the way that the countryside is changing and what that means for us as human beings on this planet. So the first thing that we noticed was the willow leaves changing colour. They seem to be the first to go, closely followed by the ash trees actually dropping their leaves. So really, before they've even gone brown, the ash leaves seem to fall very quickly, very early on. Now a lot of the trees, and you'll be able to see this as I go down the next slope, the hazel, I don't know that you can see it there we are. The hazel is changing really slowly. So the trees have got yellow, orange, green and red leaves all in one go. Isn't nature amazing? Something that we noticed on the oaks around here was that we don't know whether it was because of the lack of water in the summer, but parts of them almost seem to be dead. I'm sure that's not the case, but kind of whole chunks of them had gone really brown, which is a bit worrying, but hopefully they'll pick up now that we've had a lot more water. We were hit quite badly by Storm Callum last week, so down here on the riverbank where I am, we've lost some more of the bank, and it's taken down some of the willow. So we planted some on the island to help strengthen it, and it's still there. Whoa, be careful because there's not much bank here. Okay. So you can see the willow behind me. So some of it has fallen down. I don't know if you can see that. So some of the bank has been undermined, which is really sad. But that's the course of nature. The river swelled more than it has done in living history of the people that we've spoken to. There's never been so much rain here, and it hasn't flooded as badly. Having said that, it all happened very quickly. So things have got back to normal pretty quickly, but unfortunately left people who've had their homes flooded. So now everybody's rallying to try and help people, and it is good like that here because there's quite a lot of needy people around. There's also lots of wonderful people willing to help. When the floods first started, there were people on the community sites offering their 4x4s if people needed desperately to be somewhere, or also to go and help elderly, disabled or just needy people, which is really kind. So I'm walking to the end of the riverbank here, and this part of the river is flowing pretty much how it usually does. So if I can move the camera so that you can see what it looks like. It's quite hard to think now how high that water was. So it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun is on its way to dropping down behind the hill, and I can feel on my cheeks that the air is autumnal rather than summer. So a lot of people get really sad about the fact that the autumn and therefore the winter is coming. But as a pagan and a witch, I know that this is just as an important time as any in our natural calendar, because it's important that every living thing has the opportunity to regroup, think again, recharge their batteries. And that's what the plants and the trees are doing. The animals that hibernate are doing the same thing. Some have already gone off to sunnier climes. But it's a pretty good thing for us to do too. So for me, coming towards the end of October, I'm approaching the end of my year. So the witch's year ends at Samhain, at All Hallows Eve, at Halloween. It's a time to look back. It's a time to think about our ancestors, where we've come from in the long-term past, and where we've been this year, how far we've come, the things that we've achieved, the things that have gone well, and also the things that maybe haven't gone quite so well or haven't gone how we'd planned. It's a time to take stock, see what we want to carry forward, and see what we'd like to leave behind. Perhaps we recognise that our behaviour or our actions or our words, that we're repeating ourselves. Maybe those words or actions didn't make us happy the first time. It's unlikely they'll make us happy again. It's not being afraid to let go, just like the trees are letting go. They're letting go to make room in the spring for the new growth. And unless we do the same, we'll never grow any stronger. We'll never learn. On a personal level, for myself, this has been a really interesting year for me. I've met up with 3 amazing witches, and we've come together promoting Witchlit on Facebook and Twitter, and we've got lots of exciting things planned, and with that support, with that inspiration, with that togetherness, with that sisterliness, I've had one of the best writing years I've ever had. So I published The Flower Pot Witch in June. I'm just finishing The Eloquent Witch now. Obviously, it still needs work. It's going to need a lot of editing, and then it'll have to go to first readers. But I'm really pleased that I have another book written. But more than that, I've attended book fairs, and I've met a lot of people online and face to face, and I felt proud to stand up and say, this is me. This is my writing. This is what I do. And that's a really big thing for me. Through so much of my life, I was required to conform and fit into a certain category, into a certain box. Otherwise, I would cause disappointment. It's really nice to think that I've been myself this year. And it's not that it hasn't brought its downs as well as ups, but I'm proud that I'm still here and determined to be that person that I really am. So for me this Samhain, I'm going to be thinking quite a lot about my parents. One day I'm going to write a book about my dad and his experiences in World War II, and some of that research has come up at the moment. Now it's been a few years since I lost my mum. It's time to just not think only about the good times, but come to terms with some of the more difficult times. So that's what I'll be doing on my riverbank, beneath the moon, maybe on the beach if any more of it gets exposed by the water. There isn't very much of it at the moment, but hopefully we'll be there with a fire, perhaps with my drum or my singing bowl, letting go of the things from this past year that I don't want to bring into the new one, and then celebrating the fact that I have a house with a roof, with fires that I can light to keep warm, and that I have food, that I have friendship, that I have family, and that next year is going to be another awesome year. So thanks for tuning in and listening to my thoughts on autumn from my Welsh riverbank. Do join me again for more chat, stories, extracts, and the ramblings of the Riverbank Witch. Bye for now. Bright blessings.